What if I told you that a silent epidemic is plaguing men across America, and it might all come down to that innocent cup in your hand? Nearly 70% of men over 80 are suffering, most without even knowing why. And the answer has been sitting in their kitchen cupboard the entire time. The old man sat in the exam room, clutching his cap between shaking fingers. His doctor glanced at the chart, then back at him, eyes heavy with concern. "It's enlarged," he said. "Your prostate. We need to talk about your habits." It wasn't what he expected. He didn't smoke, didn't drink. He stayed active, walked every morning. But there was one habit, small, easy, and seemingly harmless, that had silently grown into a problem that was now destroying his quality of life. He drank 4 cups of coffee a day. Black, no sugar, just like he had since his 20s. What he didn't know, and what millions of men don't realize, is that excessive caffeine has been linked to an increased risk of benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. It doesn't cause cancer, but make no mistake, it can transform your golden years into a nightmare. Constant trips to the bathroom, painful urination that burns like fire, and a sleep schedule shattered by endless nighttime urges. But caffeine isn't the only surprise lurking in your daily routine. Do you know what's happening inside your body every time you reach for that second cup of coffee? Your bladder is being stimulated while the muscles surrounding your prostate are relaxing, creating the perfect storm for men already genetically predisposed to enlargement. And most devastating of all, this damage accumulates silently for decades before symptoms become impossible to ignore. In 2013, a groundbreaking study from the American Urological Association sent shockwaves through the medical community. It found that men who consumed more than 234 milligrams of caffeine per day, about 2 strong cups of coffee, had a significantly higher chance of experiencing lower urinary tract symptoms. 2 cups. That's all it takes to potentially set yourself on a path toward misery. And it's not just coffee waging war on your prostate. Energy drinks loaded with stimulants, those squares of dark chocolate you treat yourself to, and even that supposedly healthy green tea can quietly add up, creating a perfect storm inside your body. These seemingly innocent pleasures are stimulating your bladder and relaxing the muscles surrounding your prostate, exacerbating symptoms in men predisposed to enlargement. But there's a darker twist that pharmaceutical companies don't want you discussing with your doctor. Hidden within the pages of a CDC report from 2020 is shocking data suggesting that nearly half of American men over 60 have BPH, and most don't know it. That number jumps to an astounding 70% by age 80. And here's the devastating reality. Many of them unknowingly make it worse every morning right after they wake up. They pour their first cup of coffee without realizing they're flooding their body with diuretics that are slowly destroying their quality of life. These diuretics cause dehydration, which thickens the urine and makes it more difficult to pass. The prostate, already enlarged, reacts by squeezing tighter on the urethra, like a vice grip closing on a vital pathway. Have you ever wondered why you wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and 4 a.m. needing to urinate, only to stand there waiting for relief that barely comes? This is why. Your body is locked in a battle you didn't even know you were fighting. It sounds small, just a cup of coffee. But over weeks, months, and years, it can lead to bladder damage, infections, and even permanent urinary dysfunction that no medication can fully repair. The medical community has been divided on this issue for years. Some doctors don't see caffeine as a direct culprit in the prostate crisis. But others, backed by years of patient cases and clinical observations, say the connection is impossible to ignore. Still, there's an even more overlooked factor, and it's sitting on nearly every dinner table in America, probably including yours. Salt, the silent destroyer. The average American consumes nearly 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, far exceeding the recommended 2,300. A groundbreaking 2012 study in the Korean Journal of Urology showed that high sodium diets are directly associated with worsening BPH symptoms. The mechanism is devious. Salt causes the body to retain fluids, leading to higher blood pressure and increased stress on the bladder. That nighttime urination that's robbing you of precious sleep. It's often tied directly to how much sodium you consumed at dinner. You're not just waking to pee, you're flushing out hours of dietary stress that's been building like a dam ready to burst. But even here, there's more to this story that most doctors won't tell you. One lesser-known study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism in 2006 uncovered another hidden influence that's transforming men's prostates across America: obesity, especially belly fat. This isn't about appearance, it's about dangerous biochemistry happening inside your body right now. Fat tissue actively produces estrogen, which can catastrophically disrupt testosterone balance. In older men, this hormonal imbalance accelerates prostate growth at frightening rates. It's not about vanity, it's pure chemistry. That same landmark study found overweight men are 30% more likely to develop BPH. And guess what often contributes to this weight gain? Too many calories from the very foods masked as healthy essentials that fill grocery store shelves. Low-fat, sugary yogurts that spike insulin. Diet sodas filled with artificial sweeteners that disrupt gut bacteria. Fast food salads drenched in inflammatory dressings. These feed silent inflammation, the underlying fire behind many chronic issues, including prostate problems. One moment you're watching your health, and the next, you're unknowingly feeding the very problem destroying your nights and embarrassing you during the day. But there's another twist, one that brings all of these threads together in a perfect storm: timing. In 2015, researchers from Harvard made a discovery that changed how we understand prostate health. They noted that men eating heavy, late-night meals had dramatically more frequent urination problems, waking up multiple times a night in misery. The reason? The body's circadian rhythm. At night, digestion naturally slows, but insulin sensitivity also decreases. Late meals spike blood sugar levels, increase inflammation, and stress the bladder even more. Combine that with high sodium, a caffeinated beverage at dinner, and a sedentary evening. It's the perfect recipe for prostate disaster. For many, it's just a nightly ritual. For their prostate, it's a tightening noose. Are you starting to see how these seemingly innocent daily habits could be combining to create the perfect storm inside your body right now? How many of these factors are present in your life as you're listening to this? And yet, one of the most shocking discoveries made in a 2018 review in the Mayo Clinic proceedings was about something most men never connect to their prostate: inactivity. Men who sit for over 6 hours a day are far more likely to develop or worsen BPH symptoms. The science is clear about why. Reduced circulation creates stagnant blood flow to the pelvis, direct pressure on pelvic floor muscles during sitting, and lower testosterone production from lack of movement all contribute to prostate enlargement. The same men who carefully watch what they eat can unknowingly cause severe harm simply by sitting too long, especially after meals when blood is already diverted to digestion. Think about your typical day. How many hours do you spend seated, in your car, at your desk, in front of the television? Each hour could be contributing to a problem that will eventually become impossible to ignore. What's truly alarming is how these factors compound each other. The man who enjoys his morning coffee, salts his lunch, works a desk job, and relaxes with television in the evening isn't just facing individual risk factors. He's creating a perfect environment for prostate enlargement. It's not just addition, it's multiplication of risk. So what does this mean for everyday men, fathers, grandfathers, neighbors, perhaps you yourself, living with no idea that their daily routines may be hurting them? It means awareness could be the first real step toward relief. It means small changes could make dramatic differences. It means you don't have to accept nighttime bathroom trips as an inevitable part of aging. Because behind the statistics, the science, and the quiet habits are real people, like that man in the exam room, who just wanted to enjoy a cup of coffee, who followed what he thought was a healthy lifestyle, who didn't know until it was already happening, that his prostate was enlarging day by day. And what his doctor told him next changed everything. With a few strategic adjustments to his daily habits, limiting caffeine to before noon, reducing sodium intake, standing and moving for 5 minutes every hour, and avoiding late meals, his symptoms improved dramatically within just weeks. No expensive medications, no invasive procedures, just awareness of how his daily choices were affecting his body. The question is, will you wait until you're sitting in that exam room, or will you take control now? Your prostate health isn't determined by age alone. It's determined by the choices you make every single day. The coffee cup you're reaching for right now could be the difference between comfort and misery in the years ahead. The choice, as always, is yours. But now, at least, it's an informed one.